Hey, it's time again for Big Trouble in Little Podcast. I'm Andy.
I'm Chaz.
I'm Joe Dubs.
I'm Zach.
There we go.
And we're back. We have a new theme this month. This whole month is Dubs. So usually I kick it over to whoever chose this week's movie, but I guess all month long we got to listen to Dubs talk about why we're watching all the Terminator movies, all of them.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it simple. We watched all the Planet of the Apes, me and Andy, at least. We watched all the Star Trek, me and Andy. We did all the James Bond movies, so I'm hitting up all the big franchises pretty much. So Terminator, soon is probably gonna be Aliens. We did RoboCop. Remember, we did all the RoboCops.
I remember.
So let's get into some Arnold Schwarzenegger and Terminator. And The Terminator. Is that the only title in the franchise that has "the" in it? The Terminator?
I don't know. I guess.
Probably. But this movie's made by James Cameron in 1984. Just a little backstory, a little quickly. I'm giving you some Joe facts here. This movie, James Cameron made it up in a fever dream that he had. And it was about AI. He says, while sick in Italy, Cameron reportedly had a nightmare about a chrome skeleton emerging from the flames carrying knives. That image became the foundation of the endoskeleton of the Terminator. And another fun fact: Arnold was originally wanted to be Kyle Reese, and then they looked at him and they're like, "Nah, you're gonna be the robot," because he kept on like telling James Cameron on like how the Terminator should move and talk and all that stuff, and I guess James Cameron said, "Fuck it, you're gonna be the Terminator."
Isn't a lot of the Terminator's performance based on Yul Brynner's performance in Westworld? I thought I'd heard that somewhere.
I didn't hear that before, but I do know originally James Cameron. I forgot the actor's name, but he's one of the cops, not the black one, the white guy. He was gonna be
Lance Hendrickson.
Yeah, he was gonna be the Terminator originally.
That went over as good, I think.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it would have probably fell. But I want to hear your guys' opinions about this movie because you guys know about my opinion about Terminator. I fucking love this franchise. Even though it's going to be really wacky when we get deeper into the franchise. But this was like in the genre of like sci-fi horror, right? Because it comes off like a horror movie, like a Michael Myers just as a robot, pretty much.
This is the most horrific of the Terminators I've seen, sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He says, James Cameron says he was inspired by John Carpenter's Halloween. Partially.
Makes sense.
And it shows, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he's a menacing stalker. Like, yeah.
Just like a neo-noir techno slasher. Like, is that basically what this is, pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's what I've heard a lot of other people call it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure they weren't just describing the bar?
Yeah.
The bar is cool, too, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the premise of this movie is that John Connor is the leader of the resistance. Even though that kind of gets a little muddy because there's like a war before the war with John Connor, because Kyle Reese is like, no, I didn't fight in the war, but I was part of the resistance group.
No, he says he wasn't there for Judgment Day.
Yeah.
But he was brought up in, the shitty world after that.
Mm-hmm. But pretty much like the battles, like the humans won, but they were just like, fuck this. We're making a time machine and we're going back and we're going to kill you. We're going to kill your mom before you're born and all that shit. So that's the premise. You have Arnold, the Terminator, comes back in time, 1984, and Kyle Reese as well. Fucking, I love the whole punk people. Nice night for a walk.
Bill
Paxton, yeah. And then he like punches that fucking guy through his fucking stomach. I was like, yeah. And then Kyle Reese robs a fucking hobo of his pants. Ah, my pants.
That's weird. They just kind of cut, and he just has the guy's pants. And the guy's like, "Oh, my pants! Like, what happened in the interim there? Like, how did he get pants off the guy?
We don't need to see him pull the pants.
Did you buy
off
him
the
dinner
hobo.
or what? What happened?"
I guess the one thing that like, I'm guessing because he saw the like the light and all that stuff, someone called the cops, or maybe the cops saw it down the road and they're like, "Whoa, what the fuck was that?" And they like came around. So, because I was like, "Where did the cops come from? Did someone call the cops on him already?" But I'm guessing probably the light probably tipped him off, or they saw it in the distance and whatever. The garbage man thing, which is funny, like Terminator Genesis, which we're not going to be watching. That's going to be like our tombstone pick if you do guys want to watch, because it mixes this movie with Terminator 2, and they do like an alternate reality, and they use the same garbage guy because he's like still alive. And they recast him for that role, which is funny as shit.
Okay.
But what do you guys have to say?
So this movie, first off, is like if in like the supercut of like trying to define the 80s to someone, this is a very 80s movie in so many ways. But I think the movie shines in just the sense of staying to the very linear plot point of someone who is effectively impossible to stop is trying to kill you. You don't even need to know why. Like again, they're trying to explain to Sarah like why, very briefly. Okay, this is what's going on, and she's like, "You're crazy." And they're like, "Well, okay, if you want to die, believe that." But and then eventually she has to go on, and of course she like falls in love with him. And I think like the movie's just great for what the linear part of what it is. Obviously, it's a classic. I think the funny thing is the movie definitely starts to get a little hairy if you think a little too much about it, because you get those weird time travel paradoxes that exist. But again, the whole point of it's not to think about it too much. Like, enjoy it for the action that it is. Same reason why I like Judgment Day. Like, Judgment Day is we've already reviewed it, so I feel like I can bring it up a little. Like, it's definitely less of the horror plot and more of just the action, and you're getting a little more of the story of what led to everything. But it is an interesting point that he deliberately chose to make the story that we are coming back in time to save you in the moment, and we're going to stop this specifically from happening so that we can win. But they're not doing anything to alter the timeline in a way that would prevent the destruction of mankind anyway, right? Like, It's like, okay, but again, at the same time, like, they at least write that off in a way of, well, he only went back because he was trying to stop the robots. They destroyed the other way of doing it. They don't have another way to go back, blah, blah, blah. So it's like very quick and like written off. But then they, of course, the ending of the movie, you get the loop where it's like, okay, he was destined to go back the whole time because that's actually the timeline, because he needs to go back and make John Connor and then die.
Yeah, John, I mean, think about it. He's sending his dad back in time to bang his mom so he could exist. like
he's sending his dad back to meet his mom and die in the same 24 hours.
Yeah, he's like, you're gonna go, like, he straight up did the fucking salmon run. He said, you're gonna go upstream, you're gonna spawn, you're gonna die. Good life.
I think Sarah, like, it finally clicks. Like, it clicks at the club where like the shotgun blast happened, but I do like the touch that James Cameron does with the cops, and he gives like the Kevlar. He's like, he must have wore Kevlar. Look, this could stop a 12-gauge shotgun and all that stuff. And she's like, oh, but then when he starts shooting up the police station, that's when he's like, fuck this. They ain't protecting me at all. And by the way, fuck that front office cop when Terminator comes in. Because, like, you're protecting this lady, and you're like, no, she's in the back. She's doing a statement right now. And he's like,
sorry.
I'll be back. Fun fact about the I'll be back line. It was written, I'll come back, but Arnold says a robot would say, I'll be back. And James Cameron got so fucking pissed off. He's like, I'm the director, I'm the writer, you're a fucking actor. He has the balls to say that to like a person like Arnold.
You know what Arnold said? Fuck you, asshole. And it stayed.
Yeah, he said, I'll be back anyway. And obviously, it's like one of the most iconic lines from the series, right?
Yeah.
All the action scenes were really shot well. Obviously, it's dated with the green screen when the whole the skeleton robot is walking down the hallway. It's clearly, you can see it's like a fucking green screen, and they're shutting the door. It looked cheesy, but I still loved it. But the shooting of the police station, the chase scenes when they're doing the pipe bombs in the tunnel, like all that shit is fucking cool. Even the synth music is really awesome as well.
Oh, I love the soundtrack for this movie.
Yeah, soundtrack is fucking amazing.
Part of me wonders if like Arnold's everyday life, like where he's just like doing mundane shit, like brushing his teeth or like making lunch, is just like like I wish that was my soundtrack to my life, just me doing whatever.
Yeah, very serious.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the lady who made the craziest lunch sandwich post-sex just to then get killed by the Terminator.
There was this whole discussion about this sandwich. And I'm like, maybe that wasn't a sandwich. Maybe that was like a platter, and there was like pieces of bread in case you wanted to make a sandwich out of something that was on the platter.
I don't know, man. There was celery, there was peanut butter, there was mayonnaise, there was.
It looked like there was hot dogs. I thought there were hot dogs on there, man.
Yeah, she had a glass of milk. She straight up just said, "Let's have a picnic." I don't know what I want. I'll get a little bit of everything.
There you go.
And by the way, the boyfriend is Slider in Top Gun, Iceman's wingman, or co-pilot, I should say.
I thought he looked kind of familiar. I was like, I've seen this guy in other shit. I just never know what I see him in. Mm-hmm. That explains it. I must say the same thing when I watch Top Gun.
I kept on thinking, I was like, man, she's always on that fucking stupid ass Walkman. Like, get a radio and like put it. I guess she likes to listen to music loud. That's the only thing I could think of.
She was like banging while listening to it, though. It's kind of rude, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like that's rude.
Yeah. It's kind of like, watching TV while, fucking.
Yeah, like you're not really paying attention to what you're doing. You're just watching TV. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, finish up. News is on.
Walter Cronkite is on.
You've never done it doggy style, so you can both watch X-Files?
No, I'd rather just watch X-Files and do that.
I'd rather just do the doggy style part, but yeah, either one.
They're saying, crazy concept, especially in our day and age. You can have sex and then watch the X-Files. It's on demand.
There you go. X-Files is going to last a lot longer, FYI.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe about it.
Maybe about it.
Andy, what's your opinions on this movie?
It's good. For a while, I thought I liked the first one more than I liked the second one, just to be edgy, because it has a lot of stuff the first one doesn't. The second one is, it's like a masterpiece as far as action movies go, but the first one tries to be so much more than that. It's like, it's Halloween with a sci-fi coat of paint, and that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But this time watching it, like you guys were talking about, her roommate just has headphones on the whole time. They're using that. That's her character trait. Like, that's lazy. That's lazy writing.
It is very much so.
She doesn't. Her whole character is that she's vapid and she wears headphones the whole movie. That's it.
Yeah, that sounds like a slasher character, doesn't it?
Yeah, she's a Walkman.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's, I used to think of the movie as more than what it is, but it turns out it is what it is. But what it is it's still a good movie. I still like it more than most. It's just, I don't like it as much as the second one, like I thought I did.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of rough around the edges, just in the sense of, like, there's this glossy coat of paint over what they're trying to do because of what it is. But there are some issues with the plot if you think further than just the slice of time that they exist. Like, if you were like to be in theaters and watch this movie in the 80s before anything else beyond it existed, you're like, okay, cool, and you probably walk away from it like, oh, this was like a horror movie with like some kind of like edge to it, and like, oh, that's kind of cool, this futuristic stuff. If you wouldn't think more about it, you would just move on. Like the one neat thing is like the whole. He shows her. He talks about the picture of her and remembers her, and then you learn later where that picture comes from
That's
because
cool.
she's wearing that outfit. Like that's a cool touch.
Even better than that, at the beginning, you don't know who's who. Like you kind of
Mhm.
understand that the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, is villainous, and you see Michael Biehn, Kyle Reese, also just kind of doing the same stuff. And like, you know, with hindsight, it's easy to put this aside, but you don't know why Kyle Reese is there. He might be there to kill her too. You have no clue until the
absolutely.
scene. Honestly, the scene in the club in Tech Noir, that's the best scene in the whole damn movie. Because that's where the whole thing comes to a head, and then there's some really good action, and there's some really good lines. Come with me if you want to live, and it's just like lots of cool stuff happens all at once, and then the movie's a little slow for a minute, and then it picks back up at the end.
Yep, agreed. And
Part.
Oh, go ahead, Zach.
I was gonna say, you know, this time watching it, I was like, part of me wondered, is like, you know, maybe they could have played with this idea of you don't know which one's which until the club. But it's just that's thrown out the window when he punches that fucking guy through the stomach, like in the first couple minutes.
Yeah, like, you know, one or both of them are bad guys. They could have held out a little longer to show their hand with Arnold, but honestly, him being such a horrible, scary man is what makes 2 all the much better. Like, I would have loved to see 2 opening weekend and be like, oh, that's Arnold, he's the bad guy. And then, like, as that movie goes on and you figure out what's going on, you're like, what the hell? Like, it would be even more amazing. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I saw 2 before I saw 1 when I was
100%.
Yeah,
I had watched 2 dozens of times before I'd watched the first one.
Same
and I remember
thing,
and I remember watching the first one as a teenager and being like, wait, he's the bad guy?
Right,
what?
Yeah. I was, oh, man. And then, like, you kind of, like, over time, you realize what you've been robbed of. You're like, oh, man. They're still both good movies, but it's a shame.
Yeah, like, in the headspace of that, like, again, I mean, obviously, like, Terminator and Star Wars are apples and oranges, but it would effectively be the equivalent of if the second movie opens and Darth Vader shows up to help Luke, but you don't know, like, you think he's going to kill him, and then he's there to help him. I don't know. But,
yeah,
like,
I see where you're going.
Yeah. Like, it's the equivalent of, like, the person who literally is, like, or I guess in a slasher, it'd be like a weird thing, like Jason Voorhees shows up silently, and you think he's there to kill the kids, but actually there's someone else there to kill them, and he's there to save them. I mean, that's literally just the plot.
That's Freddy versus Jason for you.
Not exactly, but more or less.
Yeah.
So I think that, well, again, if you put too much thought into what the deeper, like, lore they attempt to do, then it gets a little hairy. Again, the second movie does such a good job of it transforms into that action movie. And because of giving you that cool twist of, okay, now the person who was the villain is, you know, now is suddenly the protector, and, you know, they're protecting the kid. Like, there's elements that get added, and there's character layering that's really good without necessarily going too deep into the plot and then muddying things. Mm-hmm. And I'm hopeful, because, again, I've not watched these movies, like, but again, I know enough about kind of the trajectory of where the Terminator series went, in that the things get a little murky as far as where this plot goes, because as cool as the premise is, like, it's full of holes. So I'm wondering how that plays out. But again, you can take the first 2 movies for what they are, and they're really cool. You know, they're right.
I think what's cool about this is, like, we never see what's going on in, like, the robot war or whatever they called it. Because, like, it's like a chess piece. Like, the first movie is like, all right, we gotta fucking kill the Skynet's like, we gotta kill Sarah Connor because we gotta get rid of John Connor. He's like a thorn in our side. And then something along the way changed where John Connor and his human resistance got the Terminators, got Arnold, and, like, turned it to a good guy, sent him back in time, and then Skynet set that liquid metal thing. Third is where it starts getting a little murky, but I am going to defend it a little bit because I have nostalgia. Most of it's going to be nostalgia blindness, but I'm still gonna defend it just for the sake of the show. But like I always think of like it's chess pieces that are being moved in the future, that they're coming back in the past. Now it is silly that they're coming like in fucking like 4 movies and shit. Like Dark Fate. I think Andy, you were talking about like all the the timeline changes and on like how it would disrupt it in some way. Dark Fate is a big disruption.
I mean, yeah. Eventually, that kind of becomes what Terminator is about. Is like fucking with time, and that's cool. That's something that's one of the few things that I like about the first one more than the second one and every subsequent entry is the first one has this weird, like there's a really classic sci-fi short story where a guy becomes his own grandfather or something. They kind of lampoon it in an episode of Futurama, right?
He did the nasty and the pasty. Yeah,
that's right. But it's like a classic like mind fuck sci-fi story, and at the end of the story, the guy is every character in the story. That's the gag. Like as you read, he's every character who interacts with every other character at some point. But Terminator plays with that premise. Kyle Reese has to go back in time so that he can John Connor. Why would he have done that if it had never happened? And that's kind of the mind fuck. But it turns out like it's this loop. It's this self-feeding loop. And as long as he goes back every time, John Connor exists. And then John Connor sends Kyle Reese back so that he can make John Connor. And then that John Connor sends Kyle Reese back so that he can make, etc. But in the second one, they show that you can change the future, which is, one of the things they say in the first one. But in the second one, they're like, oh, we found this technology that was left behind from the Terminator, and we used that to accelerate making Skynet. Oh, so you can change everything. So Kyle Reese coming back isn't a loop at all. We have branched and made a different future. And then in the third one, they're like, oh, all you did was delay Armageddon. So really, there's fate, maybe. And I don't know. Like they get off the. I really like that the first one is that self-contained mindfuck of a loop. Like where did it start? Where's the chicken? Where's the egg? No idea. It doesn't matter. But
right.
That's fine. I mean,
but that's the thing is they open Pandora's box, so to speak. Like once you've opened that and you keep going further into the time travel, because like one thing the movie does that's really clean is he explains when he's getting interrogated by the cop, like, this is why it happened this way. They realized they lost the war. They came back. We immediately followed, and we destroyed whatever was there to stop them. I'm the only one that could go back. Like, they did a good way of putting that in a scene where it again, not that it spoon feeds, but it gives you enough so that you no longer need to question other shit, right? They didn't have time to go, oh, I'm actually going to wait. And because, like, immediately the thing could be, oh, why didn't you just take the same technology, go back, and then prevent the creation of the defense network that led to, the destruction anyway? Like, but again, there's that loop where, well, if they can do that, that alters, and then if it eventually happens, the technology can go back and stop them. And there's actually an episode of Rick and Morty that, like, makes fun of this in a hilarity. I don't know if you guys have watched the episode of Rick and Morty about the snakes, where they go to a snake planet, and there's a snake planet that's effectively Morty gets bitten by a space snake. He brings it home. It dies. He feels really bad, so he gets a pet snake and puts it back out into space. And it lands on a planet full of snakes who are effectively in the version of I think the Eisenhower administration era, or or a Truman administration, whatever the Area 51 propaganda stuff was. And it leads to like this whole like clusterfuck of them like going back in time, and eventually robotic snakes are going to kill Rick and Morty to prevent it from happening. But then the other side is immediately sending other robot snakes to stop it, and it's an endless loop where they just eventually all kill each other because it's a paradox. And it literally just unravels the whole plot point of Terminator series, in that, oh, well, if they can all keep doing this and it's infinite branching loops, then eventually the snake will eat itself. And that's literally the joke. I just think it's kind of funny because it just unravels the whole series, but that's only because they allowed it to. Like, as cool as Terminator 2 is, they opened that box by making it, oh, we found this. Like, if they left it as that loop and it just played out the way it was, it's fine. But like you said, they allowed that loop to unravel, and you get alternate timelines, but this concept of fate that makes things happen anyway, and it's like, okay, fuck it, let's just watch an action movie.
And I think
Like-
that's how I think that's how you got to look at it, because, like you said, if you look too far into it,
Mhm.
your brain starts getting very smooth, and you're just like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Because, like, a nitpick that I have, because I'm like, "All right, Skynet, which is like an AI, which probably has all the data in the world that ever happened on Earth. You're telling me the Terminator needs a fucking phone book to find Sarah Connor? Like, wouldn't that be in his processor or his memory in some way?"
I don't know. Skynet was written by someone in the early 80s. Like they didn't understand the centralization of information that is the internet yet.
Yeah.
They did say there was like kind of a throwaway line that it didn't have many records of stuff before the war.
Mhm.
Why would they after the bomb dropped? Yeah.
Right. They're having to piece together things, and that's why he like systematically starts with the Sarah Connors that exist in Los Angeles. So I don't know. It's like you also we're looking at this like what literally 42 years in the future from when the movie was made, and this is well before the branching of technology that we actually had existed, right? So I don't know. I think there's something to be had there. Although, like, we're getting close to the timeline when he actually originally goes back, right? Wasn't it like 2029 or something?
I think it was like 2027. I think I heard.
I think they
Yeah.
change it every movie, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think,
I mean, it's possible, I guess, with the altering timeline or altering timelines, like they could change because the inevitability pushes it or something. But yeah, I thought it was like 2027 or 2029 in this movie, and I was like, oh no, that's in the not so distant future. It's like in what is it? Back to the Future Part 2, when he goes to the future, we eventually reach that year, and it's like, wait, I don't have
2015 or some shit.
I don't have Pizza Hut capsules that automatically make me a pizza.
Yeah, I really like the list of super far off sci-fi that we've surpassed. We just surpassed Soylent Green recently.
I love that.
we're eating people. Trying to think what else. Just like when he cuts, when Arnold goes into that motel and says "fuck you, asshole" to the cleaning guy, and when he's like cuts the eyeball and stuff. I remember watching that as a kid and being like, "What the fuck is going on?" And me getting all spooked out of his like glowing eye. I do like the flashback scenes when they he's talking about like the rubber suits and then like the dogs and stuff, and then like Kyle Reese is walking through the hallway. He sits down to rest, and then that Terminator comes. Just a shot of like the two red eyes was fucking cool as shit.
Okay, so here's a good one, because again, we're not going to cover Terminator 2 because it's an episode we had done before. I don't remember what episode, but because it's been a couple years. But when we covered T2, we talked about how awesome the villain is in that. Which Terminator do you think is better? Like, it's like the better, like, definitive Terminator. Like, is it Arnold in this movie? And I mean this as far as like a villain. Is it him or is it the T-1000 in Judgment Day?
That's hard. Because like it's in T1, like the Terminator is scarier. The liquid one is like fucking not fair at times. You're just like,
oh yeah, I mean he's like, okay, objectively he's the superior when he's literally the better model. That's not what I mean.
Yeah.
I just mean like when you watch both movies, like which one is a scarier thing? Because I think it's still probably Arnold, right?
They're the same. They're the same character. They're both just the machines.
Okay.
I don't know. That's my stance on it. Like they might as well be the same character. You might as well be like they implanted the memories of the T-800 into the T-1000. Like it would make the same difference.
Zach, what about you?
I think the original Terminator is a little spookier.
Yeah.
Especially when his skin gets melted off and you see the stop motion Terminator.
It gets all Harryhausen for a while.
Yeah, and it's spooky. Like, because I don't know, it's like saying it's like what Dracula is spookier to you. It's the same character, but they're all done different. So you can't really say it's the exact same because it's not.
The Leslie Nielsen one is scarier.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking Leslie Nielsen was the worst Dracula.
Yeah, it's scarier in terms of quality, that's for sure.
I mean, this is Terminator. Everybody's seen the movie, but like, I
doubt it. I don't think so. I don't
you don't
think
think
it's
so?
true.
Are you?
I-
You
I
fucking
think
with
a
me?
lot of people
Stupid
haven't
movie.
seen the original Terminator. 100%. I think that.
You think
Yeah.
they've seen Terminator 2 before Terminator?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually think this is one of those situations where the sequel actually stands out. Not even saying like what my opinion is of it, but like in terms of what was more popular, yeah, I think T2 like it's easy enough that people have watched T2 Judgment Day, but and that's what they think the Terminator is. I mean, yeah, to the point that like people probably think the quotes from like the original Terminator are in Judgment Day or vice versa. Like,
Mm,
yeah,
A couple of them are, I guess, but
It's
yeah.
like Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 1. It's the same thing.
That is right, yeah. Because I played 2 before I played 1.
Everybody said Resident Evil 2 is like Terminator 2. It's true.
Well, there is Mr. X. That's kind of like the Terminator.
Zombie Terminator. Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys know me. I'm gonna recommend most of the Terminator movies. What about you guys?
yeah, this movie is great. It's honestly watching this movie even after watching the other ones, specifically 2, is just such a delight because it's not going to be what you expected. You're gonna come away with it thinking, oh wow, that's not what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If for some reason you've never watched either, definitely watch this one first and then watch the second. If you just know nothing about it, like don't, because that would be genuinely a cool thing to be able to watch those movies back to back with no knowledge of what they are. But yeah, I agree. If you've already watched the second one, first one is definitely going to come off like, oh, that's what they were doing originally.
Yeah, and we are gonna be ranking Terminator 2 in this list because we already reviewed it, but we're gonna make it part of the Terminator list. So,
Last place.
no, last place. Yeah, this fucking movie sucks. Terminator 2.
Then
Is
you
it-
watch the Exterminator. That's the other Tombstone pick.
Zach, what about you? Do you recommend it?
Oh yeah, I've always liked this movie since I first saw it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great 80s sci-fi shit, and you know, later on when you realize and you see more movies and stuff, you're like, this is a stealth horror movie too.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me like it even more.
We didn't find an excuse to bring it up, but I just wanted to say that Dick Miller was in this movie, and that rules. That's
Oh yeah,
all I got.
the gun salesman.
Yeah, the gun
right?
store. Yeah, go.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, you can't do that. Blam!
Yeah. Fuck, I can't.
He said,
Yeah,
"Fuck you, asshole," and he did.
Yeah, I also recommend this movie.
What was that? A 1911 with a laser pointer on it?
Yeah, that was an AMT
Like a
hardballer.
slide.
I know exactly what gun that is.
I knew you would because I was like, Zach would know this
Because I was trying to fucking buy one a couple years ago.
with the same laser pointer.
Not the same way. Those laser pointers are like ridiculous and expensive, and like they're not practical anymore.
Yeah.
Back in the day, though, that was hot shit. That's what they looked like.
Speaking of Resident Evil 2, I think they had that like laser pointer on one of the guns.
That was Wesker's exact gun in Resident Evil 4 and Mercenaries, the Killer 7. That's
Yeah.
what that gun is.
Mm-hmm.
That's
There
pretty
you go.
cool.
All right. Next episode, we're gonna be talking about fucking Terminator 3, 2003. This is the most infamous, hated movie out of the bunch.
It's strong.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because like the movies that came out later are fucking worse than that.
Yeah.
This movie has some redeeming traits, but ultimately it's a steaming pile. But we'll talk about it next week.
We
Next-
will.
Next week, Silent Stinger time.
Why do you say that like Borat? My wife.
my way.
Next week.
Next week, my wife.
Silent Stinger.
Oh shit. He's
Oh
down.
God. It's
Batista's
Sting.
down.
I'm not selling that anymore. This is the post credit scene. This is where we discuss what we've watched and played. Usually we talk a bunch of card stuff. Last week, Chaz went last. Chaz, you go first this time.
Cool. I don't have a whole lot, but
Okay, well then, Dubs, you go. No, just kidding.
damn it. But the stuff I have to talk about is cool. So of course did my weekly trial event for I think I've added up it for the 6th time. I have now played in an event, one of our trials, and I played water, and I got to the last round undefeated, and then lost and didn't get my badge and win the tournament. So I'm really good at getting to the very end and then just blowing it in some way. So, but yeah, did that, and then I've been playing a lot of Standard, and yesterday was a pretty good day. I went to a local in Athens, Ohio, and played in the first Standard event I've played in over a year, and went undefeated with 4-0. Treated myself, and actually bought myself these two bad boys for the deck that I think I'm now going to play in New Orleans for Nationals. But yeah, check out the special beam cannon Starmie. I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, been beating people up with that, and then I actually have been using the deck online and on if you play on the live app, the online client, they have like a ranking ladder, and it's based on like the balls. Like you start at Pokeball, and then you get to Great Ball, whatever, and then once you get to Master Ball, it's like a actual like the ranking changes completely. Like it opens up and it's different. But I made it to Master Ball. I guess when you get like the max rewards. So the deck's been really good. I've been having a lot of fun, and I mean, there's still like over a month before Nationals, but I feel pretty good about where I'm at, which is unusual for me. I normally like wait till last minute to pick a deck, so the fact that I'm this far out and I'm like fairly certain it's what I'm going to play is pretty good. So, other than that, I just watched a lot of Deep Space Nine. Not a lot. I've watched like another season or so. I'm in the middle of season.
That's not a lot. Watching a whole season since the last time we recorded.
That's true. Yeah, just a season in a week, no big deal. Well, no, to be fair, it's not though, because I think I was on that season 4 finale when we finished last. I've only watched half a season, but
okay.
But yeah, I'm at the halfway point. I watched an episode today that was really good, and it reminded me of how good the writing is in that show. So it's the episode. Man, I don't know if I want to spoil this or not. I guess I'll just spoil it. Odo gets a child. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he knows I won't spoil anything else about that. But the duality of that episode is so cool. Like the two things they decide to run together with that. I thought it was just like a neat thing of how they balance it. Now they kind of pull some bullshit at the end of the episode, I will say. Because I had that feeling of, man, this is a really good, very well written episode. And then they pulled some bullshit at the very end. I'm like, okay, that took away from it a little bit. So I don't know how much I like the very ending of it, but I mean, to pair like one story of a child being born to a child dying, like in the same episode, was just really cool. So I like that. But again, they pulled space bullshit. So I still stand by it though. I've been enjoying the show a lot. I think things are about to, like I've been watching several episodes that have not had anything to do with the Dominion or the Maquis. So I feel like some shit's about to go down. Like I think there's a 2-part episode coming up in the season I'm watching. So I don't know. I feel like some serious stuff's about to happen. So I'm curious how that's going to go. But yeah, it's been pretty good. Other than that, I just worked a ton. So nothing new there. Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. I did watch one other thing. I forgot. For Mother's Day, my wife was sick. So we had all these plans to go to this art museum. We were going to do all this cool stuff. And then she got sick. She had a springtime cold. So she wanted to stay home and eat pizza and watch a movie. And I don't know why, but she decided we should watch Shrek. So we watched the original Shrek, which is the first time my kid has watched it. Yeah, Shrek's still pretty good. Holds up. Would recommend.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. They're making a new Shrek. See how that pans out.
Yeah, we'll see. It ruins my set because I have the 4 sets and it's like the complete Shrek story, and it's like not complete anymore because they're making another one. So they fucked that all up.
Oh, but, like after Toy Story 3, I don't acknowledge the others. They don't exist to me.
And there's only one more after that for now.
Yeah, they're making
until the summer.
Yeah, I don't know. The 4th one's not bad.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's another kids movie.
I don't know why we're talking about Toy Story 4 now, but it's the kind of movie like I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch it again, but I don't hate that I watched it.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I have no desire to go back, but also I'm not like, oh, that was a waste of time. I don't feel that way. But anyway, speaking of donkeys, Dubs, why don't you go?
Fuck you.
I had to pick someone to be the donkey. I was actually like, all right, who's my ass?
So I decided to start watching the show called Paradise I'm gonna save most of the talk for the project that I'm gonna be doing on it. But I went into this show being like, I'll just turn it on and put it on a background, and I got so invested that I just like my eyes were glued to the screen because I'm the type of person that I hate when shows do like 8 to 10 episodes a season because I don't think you could write really well as far as like character building and having a good plot within 8 to 10. If you're gonna do that, make a fucking movie and make it really good. But they compacted a lot of shit in 8 episodes. I'm not gonna spoil it because the main twist in episode 1 had me go like, what the fuck? But the first episode is about a Secret Service guy protecting the president. The president didn't wake up at his normal time, and he started knocking on the door. And the main character goes in there and sees the president dead on the floor, bleeding out. He died. The president. It's not a big spoiler. You see like flashback scenes with the president, but it was really weird because like when you see the president down, the Secret Service goes. He says like some code name like Tango Down or something like that, and everybody would like come in and try to, you know, I'm trying to find that word, patrol the area to make sure and lock it down, which he does eventually, but he takes a solid like 10 minutes looking around in the room, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Did he do it? And that's kind of like the premise of the show on like who killed the president. And there's a lot of turns. I highly recommend it. I'm on season 2 right now, and season 1 is the best. Season 2 is dragging, probably because they're like, let's do one season and make sure that we get it out of there. And if it fails, it fails. But overall, it did really well. I read, and they did a second season, and so far it's okay. It's not as good as the first one, but if you want more, just keep an eye out on Big Trouble Media's channel, and you might see more Paradise. Nothing really in the Dabbleverse because Stuttering John is he's gone.
When are we doing it? When are we doing Big Trouble in the Dabbleverse?
Fuck it. But lately they've been talking about the quartering because that's like the new lolcow of the internet. If you don't know who the
people are fighting back on that. I don't know if that's going to stick or not. Of course, that happens every time they try to laugh at a new jerk. So,
well, the thing is, the quartering, he does like this. When he loves to drink a lot, and he likes to fucking go off on Twitter and ban people's channels or flag them so that they can get banned. And then he comes back when he's sober, and he's like, "I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean to do it." And he does it like 1,000 times. And he's a real creep. Like he has like women co-hosts, and he says like some weird fucking shit. Like even worse than like Stuttering John. Like Stuttering John, he's a creep. But
it's kind of a whole different thing. The lol cowiness of it.
Yeah.
I always like didn't really care for him, but I also didn't care either way. But on the tail of him being a lolcow now or whatever, June the King made a fucking like 2-hour documentary or something about him, and I watched that and I was like, oh, this guy sucks.
He's the true definition of a snake oil salesman. He's a grifter. Because he literally went into every hobby and did something. He did something with the Magic the Gathering. He did something with like fucking tech support. Like he was like a coach person for tech support, and he like sold products. And he would like he would have a falling out in some way, and he would shut it down and then come back with a new grift. So the new grift is like he's a right wing macho dude, traditional husband and wife thing, but he hates his wife, and the wife hates him. Yeah, the quartering. Yeah.
Okay, I followed him several years ago, and then I stopped following because I'm like, this dude's a fucking grifter, and I just realized it and just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
It's who gets drunk and just flags a bunch of shit? Like, what the fuck kind of behavior is that, though? That's weird.
And people criticize him and he lashes out, I guess.
Do something more destructive, like getting bar fights or something. I don't know. Like, just
So what happened is like he would do it to other channels that really weren't big, but he did it to like a wrong channel. It's called Kino Casino,
I've
and
heard of them.
it's a
You're
fat
weird.
it's a fat guy and a cokehead. They have a show where they like talk about locales or drama that's happening on the internet and stuff.
But their
And
channel's
much for
called.
me.
But their channel is called Kino Casino. They could be fat guy and a little coke. I feel like that would be such a good.
Fat
Fat
guy
guy
and his
and a
little
little-
friend.
and had a little coke.
Yeah.
Oh man, missing out.
Yeah, but it's really odd because I fucking hate the quartering. His content, he's doing content now with AI. He'll do like this whole thing of like, hey, check this out, and then he would like show a video that's clearly AI.
That's my favorite
Yeah.
thing to laugh
What
at
the
him about it is they just have like a super cut of just like him like 9 times. He goes, "Hey guys, check this out. Let me know what you think in the comments." And it's just that, and then he just plays someone else's content, and he just does it like 15 times.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
and he has a daily upload schedule, and he just reads the news. And what I mean by he reads the news, he just reads an article and goes, "So what do you guys think?" And that's it.
Let
That's
me
what
know
he
what you think.
Yeah, let me know what you think. So from one hated person to another, number one, Mets won today, 10-2. Cool.
Who
We
they
just
beat?
they beat the Tigers. 10-2.
Who's the Tigers?
The Detroit Tigers.
Okay, I literally didn't know who that team was.
Yeah, they're a team.
10-2, so it was close. It was a close ball game, or
They brought up a prospect that was supposed to be projected to play in 2027. So that tells you the desperation that a below 500 team right now is literally trying everything. But the man that I hate is David Stearns, who's the baseball of operations for the New York Mets. And he had a press conference today because he wanted to spew more bullshit that he wanted to say, like this. This is him talking about the skipper.
now who's reading the news?
Yeah, fuck you.
What do you guys think?
Let me know what you guys think. In the
What do you guys
comments.
think about the Mets? Let me know that down in the comments. Make sure to smash that like button and hit the bell.
Can we get an AI now of Mr. Matt riding on a skateboard? No.
Yeah,
Check these videos out, guys. It's just a bunch of Mr. Met doing things like just
Mr. Matt doing cartwheels.
check out Mr. Met doing cocaine. Tell me what you think in the comments below. He's talking about Carlos Mendoza, our coach, and he says, "I've been very clear and consistent that I think Mendy does a really good job." Huh? Really good job? Below 10 games below 500? Go fuck yourself. I believe Mendy does a really good job. I like coming to work with him every day. Fucking pansy. Who fucking says that shit? And I'm not going to address this every 2 weeks when I talk to you guys, and I'll leave it at that. Go fuck yourself, David Stearns. You piece of shit. Oh, he ruined his fucking franchise. I fucking hate him. Anyway, that's all I've done. Zach, you're next.
Okay. What did I do? I watched some wrestling bios videos on YouTube. I watched he reviewed Super Brawl 96. Because back when he was doing reliving the war, he skipped a few pay-per-views. He didn't review them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were big ones, like King of the Ring 96, actually.
Did he have the same thing like we did?
I'm saying that King of Ring 96 is like literally when Austin 316 was born, right?
Yeah.
I know, yeah. It's just it was early on when he started doing that series, and I think he just like sometimes got overwhelmed by the schedule, and he just decided, I'm not going to review this pay-per-view. Like the way he tells it. But
Seems like an important one though. You missed out.
I agree. But like for the most part, I think his opinion kind of aligned with ours. It wasn't very good. So, then he did a video on the Patriot, Dale Wilkes. He did like a wrestling bio video like he used to do. And I didn't know that much about that guy before, but I remember like Jim Cornette was a big fan of him, and he was trying to get him more of a push when he was in creative at WWF in the late 90s, and it just didn't work out. But this guy was like a football player who got into wrestling, and then he was pretty good, but he wasn't really nothing was really hitting right. And then somebody was like, "Hey, you should work a mask gimmick here. You're like an American. You're the patriot. Wear this mask." And then when he did that, it was like everything clicked. Somehow it's like everything worked out for him. And then he went to go wrestle in Japan for a long time. He went and wrestled All Japan. The thing about wrestling in All Japan back in that period of time, though, the 90s, was they worked that King's Road style, is what they call it. Where basically it's like you just beat the fuck out of each other for half an hour. Mm-hmm. And he worked there for years. And the thing is that style is really physically demanding, so it broke him down physically even more. So it's he already had kind of not good knees from his football days, and it got worse. He started having back issues, so you know what happened? Pills.
Oh no, not the pills.
Yeah. So he was starting to do that shit, and then he finally got the WWF call, and he was there for a hot minute, and then it just didn't work out because his body just gave up on him right around then. He blew his knee out, and his back was fucked up. This happened at the same time. His shit just broke down all at the same time, and he was done. He just couldn't do anything.
Now this is the same guy that was tag team partners with WCW's 1992 Rookie of the Year Marcus Alexander Bagwell, right?
Yep.
Stars and Stripes.
I just really wanted to say that, and I'm proud of myself for getting it first try.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. He mentioned that too. But fortunately he went down this deal where he was bad on prescription painkillers, and he managed to get out of it though, because he went to prison over it because he was forging prescriptions and shit.
Classic.
And he got over it though, and everything was fine. It's just he just died of a heart attack 5 years ago, unfortunately. But he turned his life around and was clean and everything, and got a normal job and transitioned to being a normal guy after wrestling. A lot of guys can't do that from around that period. So he managed to do it.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, it was cool.
Rest in power, Patriot.
Rest in power, Patriot. I finished Victory Gundam. I finished it yesterday. And overall, I like the show. It's pretty good. It ranks about the middle of the pack for me in terms of Gundam shows so far. There's still some other older things I need to rewatch. It's been a long time since I've seen them. But man, a lot of people die in that show. It's crazy. And it's to a point where it's kind of almost a negative against it, because it's God damn, it's you can't get comfortable with any of these characters and like them. They all just fucking die. And I mean, there's other things. There's weird shit in it. There's weird stuff with I want to be a mother to you. What the fuck? What? Like that shit. With Char. Lala could have been a mother to me. It reared its head again. Just other stuff. Chaz and Dubs aren't going to know what I'm talking about, but Andy knows what I'm saying.
Tomino likes that stuff. He thinks invoking a thought like that makes something more powerful.
Yeah,
it's kind of putting the cart before the horse sometimes, the way he does it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that kind of thing happens again a couple of times in this. But the ending was what struck me the most about it was the way the anime ended. A lot of people get blown away and die and shit, and it's kind of depressing. It's known for that. This series is, but the way it does end on a positive note. But I'm back. But the way they kind of execute the ending, something happens in it that makes it kind of bittersweet. There's there's one more little knife twist. It's shit. But it makes it one of my favorite anime endings ever, almost, because of that. after like I was just trying to find out as much as I could after I got finished watching it, and I stumbled upon an interview with some of the staff that worked on Victory Gundam. Tomino was interviewed for it too. It was like for a DVD release in Japan in like 2004 for Victory Gundam, and he infamously said in like one of the opening lines of the interview, "Please don't buy this." He was flat out saying, "Do not buy this series. It's not good. I wish that it never happened."
Yeesh.
So this is like Victory Gundam is, this gets into my George Lucas comparison, is his Star Wars Christmas special. He wishes it never happened and all this other shit, and he wished like nobody would ever see it.
Sorry, buddy. That's not how that works.
No, it's not. But the guy did manage to get he got a pretty good interview out of him anyway, even though he was pretty adamant about not liking the series. What's funny is like, I kind of understand his reasoning because he had such a difficult time while he was working on it. So it's like got more to do with him personally and everything. Like there's a bunch of office politics and stuff, and like Sunrise was getting absorbed by Bandai, and they didn't tell him about it while he was working on it. That's kind of important. I feel like you should let your staff know, hey, we're gonna get like fucking absorbed by like a giant company. Maybe get your shit in order or something in case it doesn't work out. There was stuff like he tried to like let some of the younger staff run the show without him. Like he was going to like kind of just kind of oversee it, and it didn't work. Cause like they refer to like blocks of the show in Japan are called cours. I guess it's a French term that they adopted, which is like 10 to 12 episode chunks of a show. So like first core, second core. In the second core, he's like, this isn't working. I got to get in there and actually like try to fix this. So that's when his influence gets felt more. And I could tell because for like about 20 episodes, I'm like, why are they having this war? I still don't know why this war is happening. I feel like it's pretty important.
Sometimes there's just war.
Yeah, but I feel like you should explain. Somebody should say this war is happening because X, like at some point. And he did. He managed to fix that part at least. There's more. Like they interview more staff. I didn't read all that. I was mostly interested in what he had to say about it. But yeah, I still recommend it. I guess. Goddamn, I gotta watch G Gundam after that though.
Nice palate cleanser.
It's a palate cleanser.
Gundam fight,
played,
ready, go.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Gundam card game on the side here and there, just trying different decks shit out and everything. It's going well.
Now's the time. New set.
And that's it. That's everything I did. Andy.
I also played Gundam card games. I ran a new deck tonight with this guy, main guy in it, Char. But it did really well. I almost won. Very heartbreaking loss right at the end, but I got second. Other than that, of course, there's opening cards. I'm always doing that. And also, I'm still kind of continuing off and on my journey, rewatching a bunch of Trailer Park Boys. I had never seen. They did like it was supposed to be an hour special, but it's actually 46 minutes. Say Goodnight to the Bad Guys is the name of the special, and it like takes place in between two seasons. And I remember starting that other season more than once and being like, why does Ricky's car have new rims? Why is this other stuff going on? What happened to the money from the season finale? And now I understand. Like, I never knew this special existed. So I watched that. I also watched Countdown to Liquor Day, the second like theatrical movie. And goddamn, that might be the funniest singular Trailer Park Boys product. Like, as far as like story or acting or whatever, okay. But as far as just the gags, just like laugh per minute, I think Countdown to Liquor Day is my favorite. It's so funny. Let's see. Other than that, it was David Attenborough's 100th birthday the other day. So I was reading an article that BFI published about stuff he had done. And in the 90s, 1995, I think, he did a 10-episode show for the BBC that was partially funded by someone surprising, like Ted Turner or something, who died. But it was partially funded by someone else, and it's just called The Private Life of Plants, and it's literally a TV show about plants. And it was like, hey, it's actually really good. Like, people were like, there's no way this will work, and then it came out, and people actually liked it. So I found the first episode of it on archive.org and watched it. It was really good. I was really entertained. I like shit like that. I like. Do you guys remember Planet Earth? That from the early 2000s? The documentary rules. I have that on HD DVD.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember that was the way I was introduced to HD DVD. Was like someone was like, "Oh, hey, watch this. My Xbox 360 can play this," and they played Planet Earth, and they're like, "This
Watch
is the
Planet
future."
Earth.
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, it's the future, is it?" And then, yeah, well, we know how that went.
No, a buddy and I used to we'd watch Planet Earth on HD DVD and play chess. We rewatched pretty much all of Planet Earth, and would play chess games and whatever, order food or drink or whatever we were doing. But that was a good old time. But yeah, Private Life of Plants. It's something. I'm not gonna watch every other episode. I just kind of wanted to watch something weird, a little one-off. I'm still reading Akira. Almost done with the first volume. And
I bought the bundle. Can't wait.
Are you gonna read it? You've owned the first volume this whole time.
But I wanted the cool box set, so I got it.
It has to be hardback, or you can't read it. Unreadable, Brad.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
And then I'm still working on Sopranos. I thought I was done. Like, a bunch of serious shit happened. So I was like, oh, this has got to be the season finale of season 5. Nope, it was not.
Nope.
Season 5 is pretty bonkers so far.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm right at the end of season 5. I think that's it. So I mean, this is the best place to just start wrapping it up. Make sure you follow everyone's more solo endeavors. Of course, I always open cards. I'm opening on Big Trouble Rips. Follow me on YouTube every single day. I open cards. And of course, make sure if you like wrestling, if you're one of those weirdos, go watch and listen to Getting Some Collar. You guys are recording next week, right?
Yeah,
Next week.
Next week.
And any Lost in Nightmares coming up or no? Or
I'm gonna actually talk with Zach. We might do the reaction to like the Resident Evil trailer that just came out. And
you guys were talking about Itchy Tasty, I thought.
Yeah, the guy came in our comments section talking about like I loved your books podcast one. That's like our most popular video is the book.
Well, I imagine it's because like everyone and their mother's done a video about Resident Evil, but as far as the novels go, you guys have to stand alone. You're big fish in a little pond.
It's true. I've not seen many people make video content about those books. So
Yeah, makes sense to me.
And there's a manga too, so we could also cover that if we wanted to.
branch out to mangas. I hate mangas.
Mangas.
Manga.
And of course, you can't miss go follow Turbo Blaze. I see not just Chaz, but everyone else over there is putting out the shorts about their little decks and stuff. I liked the one. I know it's not yours, Chaz, so no offenses. I like the one about the fighting deck the best. Like, I followed it really well, and I was like, I feel like I want to make this.
Yeah, I was playing a version of that in that stream. It's the one that like kind of like poo-pooed on me when I did my stream with Tricky Jim. And then fast forward to Friday when I said I got second place, I actually played against my teammate Spence in the finals, and he was playing that deck, so he got his badge with the Metacham deck, which is great for him. But like, also, come on, my deck should beat that. So I got just I don't know.
Back to the drawing board.
Dude, I'm just stuck on water. I gotta eventually get that
I mean, I get it. Water type, best type. That checks out. The math is there, but anyway. And then finally, Dubs, you're doing all your solo stuff officially now, or no?
I'll announce it next week. I'm still going through the. Shut up, fuck you. I actually have like an outline now, so like there is something written on paper.
Okay.
I've been like playing with the fact of, do I just want to do a stream? Do I want to do an actual podcast? So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to do test streams just so that I can get the flow down before I officially launch the podcast. So it's called Couch Entertainments, but we'll discuss that next week.
Consider that the pre-tease, the pre-elevator pitch for Couch Entertainments. But if you're hearing what I'm saying right now, then you probably like Big Trouble Little Podcast. So maybe you want to subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, or YouTube. Maybe.
Yeah, like and
maybe leave a
subscribe.
comment.
Yeah.
Maybe like.
Comment down below.
Comment down. Make sure you hit that bell, everyone. Make sure you get Make sure you got notifications turned on. We're going to be giving away a box of Who the Fuck Cares, and make sure you get in the comments and let me know what you think about turmoil and strife in Minnesota. All right.
And make sure you go to joedubs.com and get some bath water. All right, let's
Dubs brand coffee.
Oh no.
Oh no, it tastes like shit. All right, guys. We'll see you.
Go watch Terminator. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Big trouble